I came here initially because I wanted to go to an area that was underserved in primary care. Here it is 34 years later and it's still underserved in primary care. And to an area where I felt I could make a difference, and I can honestly say I made a huge difference in so many people's lives. I get choked up just thinking about some of the things, but it's so rewarding. So the type of setting that we're in that gives them the opportunity, there's no limits, no boundaries. You're a problem solver for families, and there's no issues that are held back. They come to you with anything and everything.
I think the flexibility of a smaller program like this and the intimate relationships that you can kind of flex your schedule around is really important. So you can make electives that, say you're going to do a year in sports med and you want another experience like that that's not built into your residency structure. They have elective months and things like that.
Yeah, we get I think different learners, certainly at different stages, but even if we get an individual resident, they have a specific interest within family medicine, I think we can kind of tailor our learning environment to them. For example, we have residents who want to go be a family physician in rural Canada, or maybe they're also doing some work in an emergency department. So if they want to focus on procedures or something more specific to emergency medicine, we can provide that for them. There aren't other learners here like emergency medicine residents or surgical residents, so we're able to provide that unopposed.
As being one of the rural residents and being in Rumford, we really practice womb to tomb medicine there. So I was delivering babies, I was seeing kiddos week after birth, and I had patients over 100. Really getting to see everything was a real benefit of practicing here and being part of the rural track.
When I interviewed here in person and when I rotated here as a med student, I just noticed like the vibe here was completely different. Everyone here felt very genuine, and you could tell you could approach them with anything, and it's a very family-oriented group. You know, like I just had a baby a couple months ago, and all my faculty here have just been so supportive throughout that whole thing, and that's been huge. And just it's been amazing having that support while going through residency. It's really nice to have them on your side.
All the residents are amazing, but I just have a special bond with our year in particular. And I think probably because they've been so supportive this whole time. We all started residency during COVID, so very isolating, all kind of went through the same thing, couldn't really hang out. And so it's been a really good bonding experience. So I think that wouldn't have been the same without having like a good family network, basically.
A lot of the physicians that work here are really big into teaching, and they get, the thing that makes this place special too is that they get a ton of one-on-one with attendings. So there's not fellows really, and there's, we have a small little team. We usually have a resident, a medical student, and an attending, and you're learning directly from an attending, which really makes it a special environment.
This program does have a true sense of community. There's a ton of support amongst residents. The faculty are right on board with making sure that not only resident wellness is kept a priority, but making sure that our specific and individual clinical goals are kept in the forefront. You know, we've got plans in place to make sure that those things are moving forward and that we're kind of on track to hit the goals that we want to over the course of residency. You know, and beyond that, you're here for 3 years and it starts to feel, like a family.
Our resident to resident, but also resident to attending bond is really, really strong. They all have an open door policy. I've never gone to one of their rooms and the door wasn't literally open, and they always put down what they're doing or step away from their computer to talk about what I needed to talk about at the moment, which I'm really grateful for.
They'll spend time with me their first year of residency, so I can often see where their level of knowledge base is, and then I'll be rewarded 2 years later with spending another rotation with them on pediatrics and seeing the growth and development, and not only in their knowledge base in pediatrics and medicine, but just as a clinician, their level of confidence and competence in the way they lead themselves, conduct themselves, interact with patients. So it's a maturation that they go through that I'm a part of and I get to witness.
For those of us who like to teach, we understand that that's the key to improving your own practice. And so if I'm going to work with somebody else, whether it's a med student, resident, I need to really bring my A game, and it forces one to stay on top of the literature, make sure that what we're telling them is accurate. I always say to the residents, I'm not going to tell you something that's just my opinion. I'm going to try and make it based in literature and evidence. So it means you got to do your homework. And I've found that challenges you in a way that if you're just working in practice on your own, you may sort of let some things slide. So to me, it's self-serving as well. I really like doing it.
You will learn so much and develop so much in the next 3 years than you ever will, for most of your life. Certainly ever in your practice of medicine. You continue to learn in medicine, but you truly grow the most, I think, your 3 years of residency.